Hello there, today I'm going to look at a Sega Saturn game. It's a Japanese game, but unfortunately I'm going to have to play it on my PAL Saturn with an import cartridge because I've just found out my Japanese Saturn is broken. The game is Silhouette Mirage, which is a treasure release, but let's take a look at the fact file where we'll get all the details about this game. So Silhouette Mirage was released in 1997 in Japan only on the Saturn, published by ESP and, as I just mentioned, developed by Treasure, the famous Japanese company. Price I paid £18.40, and the current going rate on eBay for this game is around about £20 to £30, does vary quite a lot, but 20 to 30 quid range should get you the game. So let's take a look at the packaging and of course the game as well. Here's the front cover of the CD then, and on first glance it doesn't look to be too detailed. It's just a lot of blue and pink and the Silhouette Mirage logo, but if you look a little bit closer, in the background is actually all the little characters from the game. Including the main character at the bottom there, and we've got the Treasure logo and various other logos on the front. Moving on to the back, and we've got a large animated screenshot from the game of the main character, lots of Japanese text, and then we've got a few screenshots which, as you can see from those screenshots, lots of explosions, lots of colourfulness, platformer game, and all the other stuff is just the Japanese text that you'd expect on a Sega Saturn game. So let's take a little bit of a look through the booklet. There's the front cover, which we've already seen, and first of all we've got some nice graphics from the animation that's within the game. Lots of nice information that's all in Japanese. There's the controls, details of how you play the game, with the Silhouette and Mirage mechanics, which we'll go through in more detail shortly, and lots more information that I can't read with little pictures, and again more pictures and more text, lots of screenshots from within the game. Then we've got an overview of the stages within the game there, different areas, and then moving on we've got coverage of the various enemies that you'll encounter within the game. Typical sort of Japanese anime style characters and so on, and there's a few more, and one more page full of them. So yeah, lots of nice information, none of which I can actually read or understand, but lots of very nice pictures within the booklet. We're looking now at the anime intro to Silhouette Mirage, which is some very nice Japanese animation, lots of crazy stuff going on, which illustrates what goes on in the game pretty well. That's our main character there, that's half red and half blue. So we'll just have a quick look at this. It doesn't go on for too long, and it's worth watching I think, just because it's really nice quality. All these characters I would assume get introduced at some point during the game. I've got no really any idea what goes on in the game in terms of the plot. You're some kind of half blue, half red character that has to run around and shoot stuff, is about as far as I can get with it. These are some of the bosses I think that we're seeing for the most part. Quite extravagant for the introduction of a computer game, or sorry, a console game at this point in time. So there you go, that was the intro, and then we go to the title screen, which is pretty straightforward. There aren't a lot of options. In fact, the only option appears to be game start, so let's start the game. So what you get at the beginning is a tutorial of sorts, and I say of sorts because I've got no idea what's going on for the most part because of all this Japanese writing, but what we can do quickly is illustrate the main gameplay mechanic. I'm not going to take through the whole tutorial because it goes on for quite a bit. There's lots of text to read if you can read it. So let's just have a look at the first little demonstration, which is that there's two different types of enemies to shoot at. There's Mirage enemies, which are the brightly coloured ones, and Silhouette ones, which are more like sinister, evil looking ones. And if you shoot them, as you can see there, from the wrong side, or rather I should say, actually, if you shoot them at the same colour side, then your rank goes down. The idea is to shoot them with the opposite colour. So if it's a Silhouette enemy, you shoot it with the red side, and if it's a Mirage enemy, you shoot it with the blue side. So there you go, my rank goes down. If I do that, get through it eventually. And now you see the most important part, or what I was just talking about. If I shoot a Mirage enemy with the pink or red side, then I shoot it and get a coin. Destroy it and get a coin. And you can guess what happens if you shoot the enemy from the other side. There's various other things in the tutorial, but we won't go on too much longer with it. You can see some of the other options as jump, move left and right, jump, shoot, some kind of power attack, and there's also the opportunity to switch direction between red and blue. So when I do this, you only get a limited number of opportunities to do that based on how much power you've got. That's obviously turning me the other way around. I think that's it. Yeah, there's other things like dashes and things like that, which we'll see during the gameplay. So we'll move on to the actual game itself now. So here we have the introduction to the first stage. You can see lots of rather sinister looking little kind of Barbie doll creatures. They're the Mirage sort of default enemies. I'm not really entirely sure what's going on. They're on some kind of planet having a disco or something. And up the top here in a minute, my character will appear. Bit of an elaborate starting thing which can be skipped. As you can see, you can press start to skip, but I thought you may as well see it before we get on with the game proper. There's still stuff going on that I don't really understand. Oh my lord, that's slow. Okay, enough of that. I'm going to have to skip that because I'm bored of watching that. Oh, hang on, maybe it's doing something now. Lots of big sprite rotation there, which you get a lot of on the 2D games from the Saturn. Okay, finally we're actually making a start doing something. They're all very scared of something. Oh, here we go, that's why. Ouch. Some more of that rotation and expanded sprites that I was just referring to. So eventually we might actually get on with the game. Here we go, finally, after about 2 minutes of introduction, we get to play the game, and a bit more Japanese text that I can't read, and away we go at last. So it's a 2D platformer, scrolling's left and right only at the moment, can't go too far in the stage. The idea is to wipe out these things basically before you can move on to the next part of the stage. It's effectively platform / run and gun type game, and obviously as illustrated in the tutorial, the way to shoot these things is with the blue side. Nothing too demanding on the character up to yet. It's a bit slow going in all honesty at the beginning. I'd rather all the enemies just appeared at once and let me shoot them rather than one or two at a time. As you can see, the bullets kind of lock onto an enemy when they appear in range. So when they're not there, you just shoot straight, but they will actually lock on if they're on a platform below. Any more? No, there we go. Okay, so we're moving on to the next stage, and we're getting into sort of Metal Slug territory a little bit here with this thing with the guns, and also the kind of sloping up landscape. So yeah, as you can see, I could do that for all day and not get there. So luckily I've got a dash with a double tap. The dash will allow me to get up to the top of the screen, all the way up there if I wanted to, but I'm just going to go here and get these things. I don't know where that one went. Let's get the ones a bit further down. can actually shoot the one below without going down to its level. I missed that now, I think. Yeah, I made a mess of that. Okay, so you get the idea. It's nicely animated, fantastic looking graphics in fact, as befits games by Treasure. There's also double jump, all the typical traits of an action platformer. And also we've got a little rabbit here selling something. This is probably going to be fairly difficult to navigate through because it's all in Japanese text, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Let's try again. Okay, so the little musical device has turned into something, and it looks like I can buy something there maybe? I don't know, there's lots of information. Something about 25. And then what looks like a nipple there. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. No, I'm not sure if I've bought anything or not. Let's just forget it for now. So now it gets a little bit more difficult to navigate through because I'm facing the wrong direction. So I've got to try and avoid these bombs, which isn't... Oh, I don't really want to go in there. Because I've no idea what's going on there. Oh, there's a lot of bombs here. And of course I can only shoot these with them on the Mirage side, so... have to be approaching them from the right hand side unless I do that switch I was talking about earlier, which I don't want to do at this early stage of the game. The two bars at the top there, by the way, those are your Silhouette and Mirage levels, so you can see at the moment the Mirage level's a bit lower than the Silhouette. I'm not entirely sure how you build it up, probably by shooting Silhouette type enemies. I'm sure we'll find out in due course. And now we've got another classic for Japanese games, big robot driven by one of these horrible little Barbie doll things. And a bit more exposition here. Again, not entirely sure what's going on, but I've sunk down into the ground now, where undoubtedly I'm going to encounter the Silhouette characters. Big log there with some spikes on, destroyed that mech, which saved me having to try and do it. And sure enough, here are the little green pumpkin headed looking Silhouette sort of minions, for want of a better word. And yes, they do look a bit like the minions of Despicable Me fame. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. I don't know what I'm doing with him really, but so I've used the I keep pressing the wrong button to shoot. I would have thought button A would be the obvious shooting button, but it's not, it's actually button B. Yeah, okay, I'm trying to go up there. So it's a subterranean cave environment with lots of these pumpkin-headed guys all having a pop at me. It's not going that well at the moment, I've got to be truthful. It's quite a tough game, I think. It's hard not to get hit, for certain. It's holding up a barrier that's got a U on it. No idea why. It's very wacky, very Japanese, very Treasure. All the traits of their gameplay style and the great sort of graphics, animation, sound are all there. Thus far I'm not entirely convinced by the game. I don't think it's that enjoyable to play, in all honesty. It's certainly very interesting, but thus far I'm not massively impressed with it. This guy's caught me and headbutted me. You can see there's some environmental obstacles to avoid as well. We've got a swinging log with some spikes on the end of it that I've got to try and avoid, which I've actually managed to do first time. And we've got more of these little baddies on another swinging log thing. Oh, and a frog in a crown. So this might be my first boss now. Lots of dialogue goes on between the two characters. Okay, yes, I guessed he was a Silhouette type character, really. Didn't need to be told that. It's firing a lot of projectiles at me, which I don't seem to be able to easily avoid. They're quite nice effects. I love those explosion effects. I think I've been killed. Okay, so let's continue then. Not the very easiest guy to avoid. Ah, okay, I remember now. I've been playing a while ago. This thing's a deflector. Button A is a deflector, which if he fires projectiles at you, you can obviously deflect them. Don't want to do that while he's swinging this thing around though. Okay, things are Oh, I've got him, I think. Oh, maybe he's been killed by that thing. I've got no idea what's going on. It's all a bit crazy. Yeah, okay, we've got... This is where I need the deflector. As you can see, I'm deflecting the shots and they're going back at the enemy. Not quite sure how long this needs to go on for. That wasn't too challenging. And a big explosion. Is that the end of the first stage? Seemingly not, there's more to come still. Okay, we've got another boss. We're on the third boss of the game now. The third boss of the first stage, in fact. There seems to be some kind of jester. There's another conversation going on, which I'll try and scan through as quickly as possible. Okay, so this is a Mirage enemy, which means I need Silhouette to get rid of him. Well, that wasn't a very good start, was it? To be able to actually shoot the guy. He's throwing the scenery at me, some big bouncing sprites coming down there. Okay, finally got some hits on him. I might be slightly getting the hang of this. Well, maybe not. Throwing what looked like a giant slinky at me there. Oh, stop bombing me, you annoying little thing. No, I can't use deflector on those. Okay, at least I know now. Getting close to killing him. Assuming this is going to kill him, of course. Ah. Die, you annoying little git. Oh, I only need a few shots. Come on. What's happening now? Where's this? What is going on here? There's suddenly a battleship in the distance. Oh, okay. They're big explosions. How am I going to avoid all that? Ridiculous. I think I finally got him. Have I? Yeah, I think so. That sounds like a level complete kind of noise. More dialogue. Let's just skip that. Move on to what hopefully is the next stage. I'm now on stage 2, which is a cityscape by the looks of things. Starting with some fairly easy to dispose of enemies. And on this stage some of them have got wings and are flying around, which is going to undoubtedly become very irritating. Seems to be a bit tougher as well. Nice backgrounds on this. They look to be kind of pre-rendered backgrounds, but it's kind of overpass of a highway kind of thing going on there. Some annoying little platforms. We've even got some enemies flying in from the sort of behind the fourth wall of the screen there, which is quite clever. Again, no doubts about the quality of the game in terms of the ideas, originality, animation, all those things. I'm just not entirely convinced it's that much fun. Oh my god, there's hundreds of them there. Oh, they've gone. It's just a little bit too crazy without really knowing what's going on to be too bothered about. I will persevere a little bit further, but I think the next time I lose a life, oh, that is the next time I lose a life, so maybe I'll continue just a little bit further. The kind of light and dark mechanic, of course, was used by Treasure again in Ikaruga. Shoots them upwards to what I believe personally to be a much better effect. Can be really quite annoying in this game to have to be on a certain side of the screen to be able to shoot them without using that flip mechanic, which I don't want to use particularly because it wastes all your energy. I expect there's a point where you have to use it, so I'd rather not be doing that now. Okay, let's try and buy something off this rabbit guy again. See if we can make any progress this time. Okay. There must be the opportunity to level up here. There is. So, let's see if I can manage to do that. I did. I've leveled up to level 2. What does that do for me? I have absolutely no clue. And that used up some of the coins that I've collected, as you'd expect. So let's move on. I've maybe got a more powerful weapon there, have I now? Can't quite tell. So you can grab them and do damage to them that way as well, by the looks of it. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on with some of these things. Some are throwing bombs, some have got like boxing gloves. I'd just like to see one more boss enemy type thing really, and then I think I've seen enough of the game. I don't think I'm going to keep it either. I did once upon a time set myself the target of trying to get all the games developed by Treasure, but Radiant Silvergun soon put pay to that idea really. I've got a few of the other games like Gunstar Heroes, which I think is better than this. Ikaruga is definitely better than this. So yeah, I'm not as impressed with it as I thought I might be. And I might actually stick this on eBay sometime in the future. This looks like a boss battle potentially coming up here though, so let's persevere for a few more moments. Okay, this guy, or whatever it is, was actually featured in the animated intro, I think. So let's have a conversation with him quickly. Okay, he's Silhouette. That's going to mean getting to him from the other side of the screen. Oh, people are throwing stuff at me now from the flats behind. Maybe because I'm making a load of noise, I suppose. Seems fair. I mean, some very clever ideas in this, for absolutely no doubt. I'm just not really enjoying it that much. What's happened now? He's upset. Maybe I defeated him, which was fairly easy for a boss on the second level. Or I should say, probably more like a mini boss. What is going on here now? Oh, they're getting even more angry. Oh, they've all thrown stuff at him. That's cool. And collapsing platforms. I'm going to bet that we're going to see some Silhouette type enemies now. Based on how the game's gone so far. Or maybe no enemies at all. I don't want to buy anything else off the rabbit. What is going on? There's nothing happening. Oh, here we go. It's oh dear. Something's destroyed that office building. Oh, it's fell over. Okay, this is like the dark version of what we've just seen, is it? Who knows? I don't think you need to understand Japanese to play this game, but I think it'd certainly help. Yeah, okay, so now that's the same enemy, but they've gone Mirage style. I bet it's a lot more hard to destroy now as well. It's got 1,000 coins there. Okay, so you can deflect the weapons, which might be easier to do. Oh, okay, it's changed back to Silhouette now. This is a more challenging enemy, to say the least. Although maybe not, because that was quite easy. Oh, it's all over the place. So you've got to keep swapping from side to side to shoot it, depending on which mode it's in. You've also got to try and deflect things. And I've been killed, and that'll do for me. Overall, not as impressed as I thought I'd be about the game. You can get about 20 quid for it on eBay, and I think that 20 quid would be better off in my pocket than invested in this particular game. So that's the end of the game from my perspective. A little bit disappointing, to be honest.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
2, 1, 0.